Hello, dear students. You're welcome again to my lesson with Aida Ishunbaeva. And today we will talk about food, Kyrgyz food. And Kyrgyzstan is a food lover's destination. So today we will learn about Kyrgyz food. My name is Aida Ishunbaeva and welcome to my lesson. I wonder, what do you see on my pictures? There are 3 pictures. What famous Kyrgyz traditional foods are on the pictures? And today we are going to learn some vocabulary related to food, and we will read a wonderful text about Kyrgyz food. So my first task, I would like you to name all the traditional Kyrgyz foods you know. There are 3 examples on my pictures, but of course we've got more. You've got 30 seconds, think and name them. So, what is the food in Kyrgyzstan? On the first picture, of course, we see plov. On the second, underneath, is beshparmak. And the third one is shashliq. I'm going to focus your attention today on those 3 main foods. Of course, we've got plenty. Manti, lagman, lots of meat, actually. All the foods that contain meat, but let's talk about 3 main foods today. So, before we discuss and read about these foods, national meals, let's go through some of the words. I want you to look at the pictures, and when I show you, name the picture, okay? Number 1, what do you think is it? Kyrgyz people are huge consumers of this. Second one, very popular not only in Kyrgyzstan, it's popular in the whole Central Asia and in Asian countries. East Asia, South Asia. Yeah, I would say that children, teenagers, don't like it very much. But they are used in every dish in our national cuisine. Wow! I would say rabbits are fond of them, and they are very healthy. Interesting. I don't think that all people like them, but they are very healthy, especially now. And of course, we've got the picture of a liquid we use when we fry something or cook something. Okay, now let's look. So what are the foods on the picture? Number 1, it's beef. Can you repeat after me? It's beef. Beef is a meat made of cow. Not of lamb, but cow. This is beef. Okay? Second one is rice, of course, you know. Could you repeat after me, please? Rice. The third one is an onion. All together, onion. The next one are carrots. Carrots. Garlic. And the last one is oil. Oil. Okay, I guess you know some of them, and it will be easier for you to remember all of them. Let's learn more. Wow, I've got pictures. Again, we have some meat, but what meat is it? Guess. On the second picture, we have the ingredient which is used for our main traditional meal. The third one, it's a liquid, usually appreciated or liked by Kyrgyz people, not only to use in some main dishes, but also to drink it. Okay, then we have some spices to add. And the last one, I've already had it on my screen, it's a horse meat. Definitely. Well, let's look what are the words. Number one is mutton. Can you repeat after me? Mutton. Mutton, it's goat's meat. You know goats. Goats live in the mountains, sheep, but they, I would say, more wild goats. Actually, we also have domestic goats, but it's a little bit different from lamb. It's interesting that in Central Asia, mutton is called goat's meat, but in Eastern Asia, lamb and mutton are considered to be the same. So in short, I would say it's a sheep's meat. Noodle or noodles, okay. Broth, it's actually a liquid. When you put meat into the water and stir it for a long time, you've got broth. Black pepper, not paper, but pepper. Could you repeat after me? Black pepper. Yeah, black pepper is famous spice which is usually used in Central Asia and is added to different meals. Bay leaves, repeat after me. In some dishes we use bay leaves. For example, we can use it for borscht. And of course, horse meat. Okay, thank you. I hope you remember these words, and now let's work and practice them. So, I wonder, what is the ingredients of plov, of shashliq, and beshbarmak? I give you 60 seconds, please. Think and name those foods. What ingredients do they have? By using vocabulary which we've just discussed. Now, my dear friends, I want you to read the first paragraph from an interesting article about Kyrgyz food. And I want you to find me the ingredients of beshbarmak. You have just discussed the ingredients of 3 main famous meals, so I want you to compare your answers with the author's description of beshbarmak. You have 60 seconds to do it. And the answer is horse meat or mutton, maybe lamb, and homemade noodles. And we usually, yes, eat this traditional food by our 5 fingers. That's why it's called besh barmak. Another task, I want you to read the second paragraph of the article and answer to my question. What can replace meat in plov? So some parts of our country cook plov without meat. What do they add instead of meat? And the answer is dried fruit such as apricots and raisins. I think usually in the southern part of our country they use those wonderful ingredients. I've tried it in Uzbekistan and it was so delicious, I still remember. But I have never tried it in my country. I guess I will do it one day. Now I want you to read the third paragraph of an interesting article, and I want you to answer to the question, how is shashliq cooked? And as you can see that shashliq is put in a skewer. Skewer, it's a metal sword. As you know, in our language we call it shampur, and it's cooked on a traditional grill of hot coals. And I would say that the most foreigners that visit our country are keen on eating shashliq in our country. And shashliq can be made of mutton, usually it's made of lamb, and of course chicken, and even fish. My favorite is fish shashliq. What is your favorite? Now, my dear friends, we are going to listen, for those who can pick up the text easily, and read, for those who need to see the text, the whole text. And while you are listening or reading, I want you to think about these 6 statements, and then when you finish, you need to tell me, are they true or false? So the first one is, according to the article, beshparmak is only ever made with mutton. Is it true or false? Beshparmak is a dish that contains meat and noodles. The writer enjoyed a version of plov that was cooked with fruit and spices. Plov can be cooked for lots of people using a very large pot. Skewers are made out of wood and used to cook shashliq. Shashliq is cooked very slowly overnight on a grill.
Track 3.26, Unit 8. My Country, Exercise 1.
Kyrgyzstan, a food lover's destination. One of the best things for tourists visiting Kyrgyzstan is the delicious food that is served everywhere. Whether served in the finest restaurants or just from a simple market food stall, Kyrgyz food is always an unforgettable part of the trip. One of the most famous dishes in the country is beshparmak. I was told by my Kyrgyz friend, Aybek, that in the Kyrgyz language the word means 5 fingers. This is because it is traditionally eaten with your hands, not because of its ingredients. In fact, Beshbarmak is usually made with either horse meat or mutton. The meat is boiled for several hours and then served with homemade noodles. Because it is cooked for so long, it has a really rich flavour. I was lucky enough to be invited to dinner with Aybek and his family at their house. Beshbarmak, made from mutton, was served, and as the special guest, I was presented with the sheep's head. I have to say, since it was my first time in the country, I didn't really know what to do. Aybek explained that I should cut pieces of meat from it and offer them to everyone else. Another dish I really liked on my trip around Kyrgyzstan was plov. This is a traditional rice dish which is popular across Central Asia. Rice is cooked slowly in a large pot with meat, vegetables, garlic and different spices. Everyone seems to have a slightly different recipe, but they are all delicious. I saw cooks prepare the dish in a massive pot for over 500 people at a festival. In some regions, the meat is replaced with dried fruit, such as apricots and raisins. I never got to try this version, but it sounds really tasty. No trip to Kyrgyzstan is complete without trying shashliq. The meat, which is usually mutton, is chopped into small pieces and then left in a mixture of liquid, herbs and spices overnight. Then it is put on a skewer, a long thin piece of metal like a sword, and cooked on a traditional grill of hot coals. You can find them everywhere, but the best one I ate was at a party in the countryside. In fact, it was so good that I ate 3 whole skewers of it. There is such great food to discover in Kyrgyzstan that I could have spent the whole time there eating. But then I would have missed all the beautiful scenery. I guess I'll have to go back again soon.
I'm glad that the author of the article liked and enjoyed Kyrgyz food. So according to the article, beshbarmak is only ever made with mutton. It's false. As you know, it can be cooked using lamb or beef. Beshbarmak is a dish that contains meat and noodles. It's true. The writer enjoyed a version of plov that was cooked with fruit and spices. She actually mentioned that there is a variant of plov with dried apricots. However, she hasn't eaten it yet. Plov can be cooked for lots of people using a very large pot. It's true. I think they even mentioned the number for 500 people. Skewers are made out of wood and used to cook shashliq. False, they're made of metal. Shashliq is cooked very slowly over a night on a grill. It's again false. Shashliq actually is put for the whole night with all herbs in order to be soft and have a nice flavor, but it's cooked not so long. So I would like you, in order to personalize the context, I want you to choose one traditional Kyrgyz dish, your favorite one, and could you please write the name and origin of your dish? Write down the ingredients you need to prepare the dish, what it looks, what it tastes, find some pictures, prepare the project, and share with your friends and classmates. Thank you for your attention. Bye. Thank you very much for your active participation. See you next time.